Welcome back to Sonic 06.
Gotta
So now
commentate
we're
fast.
Indeed. Now we have to use the shock bracelet to... Well, I'll just let him say.
Hold X button, you can send the shockwave by slamming the ground.
Yeah, that's
There
right.
you go.
This is one of those times where the vocal narrator does not speak up.
Surprisingly. So what's next? Oh god, it's the
White Acropolis.
Oh, believe it or not, you know what's funny? They actually give Silver some of Sonic's level design.
Beautiful.
So he's gonna use the snowboard?
No. But let's just say, think speed, and then remember that you're playing as Silver.
Oh, okay,
playing
we
as
start with
Blaze,
at least we started with Blaze.
Now here's the thing, instead of snowboarding, Blaze just takes it on foot.
Because she can.
She knows the controls for the snowboard
Yeah,
levels.
compared to the other characters, Blaze running cycle is weird. Looks weird at least. I don't know, it seems the perspective or something.
The issue is like, well, normally Blaze's running cycle up to this point was the usual, was more like in a jogging motion, whereas here they give her the typical airplane arms motion, which
The ninja run.
doesn't really suit her now that I think about it. I don't know, maybe it's just how this game in particular does it.
Well, again, Jova, it boggles, again, probably the question that everyone had, like, it boggles the mind why they decided to include Blaze in this game to begin with, just because, especially considering Rush was so recent. Like,
This was back barely a year
Oh,
old.
well,
you're telling me that there was literally no one else you could pick to be here in your place.
Popularity. She was incredibly popular.
Yeah, and look how
That's-
that turned out.
Well, she still is popular, heck, to the point where a lot of fans were demanding she be in Forces, even though, honestly, it's probably a good thing they didn't include her in Forces because that would make no sense story-wise. In fact, you know what's funny? Even the IDW comic addresses it by saying...
Remember, Teo, Takashi Suka
finish.
himself...
Let's say, it's like, well, even the IDW comic addresses why she wasn't there. She's like, wait, something was going on? Well, shoot, I didn't know because I was busy in my own dimension.
We busy listening Marine the Raccoon. Anyway, yeah, you were saying, Pedro?
I don't know what's worse, being stuck in an Eggman-controlled apocalyptic world or having to be in the same dimensions as Marine the Raccoon.
Anyway, you were saying, Pedro?
Well, Glebs, I'll say this. I'd rather the latter because at the very least Sonic Rush Adventure has a fucking pulse. But I'm not gonna rant about that game until we get to it.
I'll agree. I'll agree. It has. So I haven't played the game, but I've seen some of the plots. And I agree with the pulse. The problem is that the pulse is a bit annoying.
Well, regardless.
Honestly, Marine doesn't even annoy me that much because you don't even have to listen to her.
The only reason why I don't think she's the worst character is because she doesn't have a voice. Could you imagine Marine's dialogue?
But she has an Australian accent, mate.
Wow.
Anyway,
basically,
well, that's the thing. If there's one thing Jesse Spencer playing Chase in House proved that you can have an Australian character, even played by an Australian actor in that case, and not have him, overplay his accent. But anyway.
Crash Bandicoot, anyone?
That too, yeah.
Not the promotional material Crush 2, Drova.
The primary thing here, Teo, is that Takashi Suka himself had to confirm that Blaze's so-called story of coming from Silver's future is bullshit. He himself said he ignored that. Rush is Blaze's true backstory.
It's like Grant Morrison when
for the record, Takashi Suka
saying ignore countdown. How ironic.
Well, Teo, if it makes you feel any better, unlike I don't know the exact specifics of countdown. But when it comes to 06, Iizuka had nothing to do with 06.
Yeah.
Like his only name mentioned in the credits is a special thanks. He had absolutely zero to do with this game because he was busy working on Knight's Journey of Dreams at this point.
To give Iizuka credit, he's think about it like this. If Nintendo were as oppressive with talent as Sega tends to be, I'd say Iizuka's kind of the Koizumi in that he's the guy who recognizes when the generation needs to listen to younger generations. Problem is like, well, he's in the state where he can't. Like, he's made it no secret, he's not really a fan of 06. And that's saying something considering he made Shadow the Hedgehog. A game that I myself like, but, again, that's the thing. Shadow the Hedgehog, for as edgy as it was, I mean, that game still remembered it was in the Sonic universe. It still had a lot of funny moments. It still had Eggman being cartoony. You know, it remembered, hey, we're still a Sonic game. And that was the game that had Sonic characters swearing, and that game doesn't feel nearly as tryhard as this game.
You know, it's funny you mention that, Jova. This is supposed to be a more edgy, realistic-looking world, and yet we got the silly Sonic-looking checkpoints and bounce pads and everything.
See, you see, the charm was definitely.
Yes, I just asked first.
Okay, sure. Go ahead to 6 minutes.
Okay.
Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
You see,
Jova.
the charm was the the on paper the charm is surrealism meets reality. Yeah, 6 minutes. So you know,
It seems to be throwing me out a lot in this LP specifically.
maybe it's trying to tell you something. Anyway,
I'm not gonna listen. I'm very strong.
Yeah, we're almost there. Sorry, Jove.
it's okay. Just get counter in.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, look at this. They expect Silver to go for that, which is clearly speed-based. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
thank goodness the
This
physics
was,
is kind of BS anyway, so you can get
section
through.
that had Shadow in the vehicle, right?
Shadow in the
Yes.
vehicle and Sonic on foot. And Silver also does it
White
on
Acropolis,
foot.
the layout of White Acropolis is always the same, regardless of character.
So, of
Okay,
course, they
that
gave this
feels
section to
written.
Silver.
No.
Well, it's
no.
good thing the physics are broken anyway.
What
Exactly.
the fuck? Okay.
This game does not have physics to it.
Couldn't hang on,
Physics are overrated
Couldn't
anyway.
you just fly to the other side?
How sad is it? Speaking of physics, how sad is it that Super Mario Odyssey is a better 3D Sonic game than this is?
Actually,
Because that game has rolling physics.
Well, that game has the benefit of being released 11 years after.
Yeah, I was gonna say that game's like a.
And also
It's
had
over
a
a
more
decade after.
substantial development cycle.
I'll say.
It's
So,
still
It
sad,
was
though.
made by a team
So,
that's
what
been,
now?
consistently. They've been consistently proven, how good they are. So.
So
As long
Shadow at
as
the end
you
of
ignore
it
most of the
was
recent
fighting-
RPGs.
sorry. So at the end of it, Shadow was fighting the Egg Cerberus,
Looks like
if
we've
I
arrived a
recall.
little too late.
Actually, no, too.
Silver,
Well,
you
I mean,
Silver,
Shadow was
Silver.
fighting the Egg
Oh, you mean
Cerberus.
Shadow? Yeah. Shadow here fights the Cerberus. Silver fights the Egg Genesis.
wait, hold
Remind me,
on.
has Silver and Blaze got the Chaos Emeralds with them?
Not yet.
Okay,
It's-
I was
it's
gonna say why
after
can't they
this
just
boss.
time travel, but they don't have the emeralds, so.
It's after this boss. This boss has a Chaos Emerald, and they're gonna get it after defeating it.
Alright.
A egg
Welcome to the
Genesis.
Egg Mega Drive.
You'd think Eggman would have probably realized by this point that leaving the Chaos Emeralds with one of his robots is dangerous, and he probably shouldn't do that.
Actually, now that I've
Put it in like he's safe or something.
Now that I think about it, I think this is the first time he actively leaves them in the possession of one of his robots. Like, he sends them out to get it, but I think this is the first time he leaves it inside one of the robots. Well,
Also,
when it's not a final boss.
Unless the Egg Genesis is actually powered by the Chaos Emerald? I don't know.
Maybe, though.
Also,
then-
Jova, I can confirm you now after both listening on my own after a while. Yeah, I definitely prefer this boss team compared to the one of the Egg Wyvern. I don't know, this feels
I
more
can't
simple.
beat Silver.
and-
Oh, there he is.
Anyway, going back to what I was saying earlier, Dwibs. You see, Dwibs, the idea with stuff like this is, surreal material meets reality, That's actually sort of the theme for a lot of stories here and there. You're like, well, because that's what helps out the fantasy element of it. You're like, well, what would happen if our world actually met this weird stuff? When a battle fictional media fails to do that, you get stuff like Felix the Cat, because, the idea is like, Felix is going to a weird, bizarre world. Problem is, it's obviously not our world because of how surreal everything already is.
Well, Jova, you want that media then to try to do that straight and still fails? Those worst movie.
The way to make it work is to have fantasy meets reality, not fantasy meets batshit insanity, which is what Felix the Cat is.
Much as I hate to say it to you, for as many problems as this first movie's had, and trust me, there's enough to sink the movie, they actually did pull off legit the whole surreal meets the real world deal. Like,
By the way, let me just explain this boss real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, this is where it becomes apparent. you're supposed to damage Egg Genesis by throwing shit at that big fuck me light that he has on the bottom, which is why Sonic could also. Sonic was supposed to not be able to hit him there, but unfinished game.
See, now with
However,
Sonic, this boss could be considered more fun, even if you were doing legit.
Yeah, this boss could be fun and easy if there wasn't for one major problem. The camera on this boss sucks major ass.
Which is a
Whenever
shame
you get
because-
close, whenever you get close to the Genesis, the camera will get. For the record, the camera is mostly fixed in this boss. You cannot change it. Okay, it doesn't look bad now, but whenever you get close to him, the camera starts getting closer to Silver to the point where you'll barely be able to see if there's even any rings near you, there's any robots near you. Trust me, it's annoying.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but the camera was just fine in Sonic's boss battle. Here's the thing, Sonic's boss battle centered around actually getting in physical with him, so you only really had to get up close to him when he allowed you to get on top of his head. At least, fighting him the legit way. With Silver, though, you've got to get up close and personal because Silver works on projectile stuff. If he's not close enough, then it can't lock on to it.
That's the primary reason why I'm staying as far away from him as I can for the most of the part, because I can actually see what the hell I'm doing.
It's like if the Totem boss in Crash to Insanity had a terrible camera. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Don't worry, Blaze. I'll just do what I've done for this entire boss, just run in a straight line. I'm not even kidding. Even if you don't have any rings,
Yeah, you still don't die.
you still don't die, so don't even bother.
Because he doesn't even hit you. I mean, you know what's sad? It's like, well, in Sonic's boss fight, he could actually hit you with that last attack, but here, nope.
Please.
Cut to the
Blaze,
end result
the
stage.
camera's over here.
Not now! I'm pondering what I'm even doing here.
Sorry.
People like you in Sonic Cross, so
you need to
yeah.
appeal it, uphold it.
I guess.
I think the last major game Blaze was in was Sonic Generations.
I fear so.
Alright, there you go, Dwebs. Here's a Chaos Emerald.
The blue
Okay.
one. I hate that one.
That's a
Yeah, we all do.
We'll get
Oh,
to Y
shit,
later.
Yeah, we'll get to why later. Oh, I love this one.
It said this gem can transform your thoughts into power.
Okay.
Really?
To be fair, that is how it worked in Adventure, so fair enough.
So, Blaze, you just literally said that this gem contains incredible power and can be dangerous in the wrong hands, especially considering how Silver is young and naive. And you literally, just keep it as a lucky charm. It's not like this thing needs to be protected or something. Nah.
Not
Keep calling him naive as well, so that makes even less sense.
naive
Oh,
or
God.
blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the biggest explanation of why Eggman continuously fails his plans. He has the most
This is
shit
best
security.
thing in the game.
He has the most shit security in the history of security systems.
I
Just
mean,
watch.
He's
Why
done.
even bothering making security bubbles if they fail?
You
For the
know,
record, Teo, did you notice that door earlier, Teo?
Yeah.
Believe this door here. There you go. That was Elise's cell, apparently.
She
And
just
she-
walks out.
And all she had to do to escape was just open the door.
but oh no, the alerts are on.
alarm's gone off.
I repeat, prisoner has escaped.
Our evil genius, everybody.
To give Eggman.
It's sad because
Okay.
it's sad because late Sonic games actually make Eggman really competent at his
Yeah.
job. So what gives?
To give Eggman credit. To give Eggman
How
credit.
did they escape the egg carrier? by
Yeah,
the way?
you know, I mean,
They
screw it.
teleported, Teo.
You know, Screw actually playing.
Knack.
Screw actually getting to play a level, helping Elise escape. I mean, sure, that may have been tedious,
Okay,
but at least
I,
it would have
Probably
actually
that
engaged
was
the player more.
planned,
Here's-
I get why they'd want to. I get why they'd want to limit
Yeah.
the level.
Don't show me that model doesn't look as good as you
Yes,
think
please.
it does.
I get why they want to limit the levels you play as Amy because the gameplay sucks. But still.
Here's the thing, though. There's about to be a mission that's going to completely spit in that idea anyway.
Also, Amy, as we're about to see, has been reading way too many romance novels.
Not
If-
just that, but this is the cutscene
Oh.
that blatantly confirms the shipping between Sonic and Elise, and it's not just like that innocent thing that some apologists of this game would say. No, this scene pretty much literally tells you
You
that
know,
both these two.
Also,
They're doing
Michael is
the
shit.
joke of this scene is that both of them love the same person. They don't know it though. That's the basic joke of this.
you know, I'm going to be forefront and say, yeah, you know, okay, if the romance was at least done well, I wouldn't mind it nearly as much. I mean, yeah, Sonic and romance don't exactly mesh
And
well, but...
also, if it involved maybe another hedgehog, not a human.
Yeah,
Or
sorry,
why not
sorry,
make Elise a
Tom,
hedgehog?
I actually have to be objective here. bestiality is not good. Like,
No, it's not.
So I don't even bother trying to find a way to apologize to it. It's not good.
Defeat the pursuers and escort kind of.
So yeah, despite us not having a level of Amy helping Elise escape, we're about to have a level about Amy helping Elise escape the robots off the streets.
Oh,
And
boy.
suddenly side mission.
Defeat
Also-
all enemies going after. Where is
Where
it?
did these enemies come from? They weren't here in the cutscene.
Where did Elise go?
We were
Yeah,
actually in a different part of the city in that last cutscene, but I still don't think they would have been there even if we were here.
Also, Jova, to answer your question from before about the Chaos Emeralds, to be fair, they kinda change their properties
Question?
constantly every game, so...
Wait, I didn't have
I
a...
don't know what...
They're the MacGuffins that do whatever
Hold
the
on.
writer wants them to
Theo,
do.
I didn't have a question. I was just actually noting that, yeah, what Blaze said about the Chaos Emerald works because that's how they worked in
Oh
the
yeah,
adventure
but
anyway.
but in that case, everything can work. So we can. It's like the crystal coconut in Donkey Kong cartoon. We can do whatever we want as long as the plot demands it.
I mean, as far as I'm
Yes,
concerned, the
okay.
Chaos Emeralds are basically first and foremost a power source, but they can also be used to warp time and space. Like, that's really been the
And
only...
then they're connected to Dark Gaia and full forms of Gaia for some reason.
Oh, well, that's
then-
simple. That's because...
Alright, Teo.
Well, okay, to be fair, that's more of a story exclusive reason because that's because Eggman...
Wow, her invincibility frames were still going on there.
Anyway.
Don't worry, Teo. Even if the Chaos Emeralds are not around,
And-
the Rimlight Corporation will make sure everybody has a lot of energy.
Anyway, Tio, when it comes to Sonic Unleashed, that was because Eggman used the energy of the Chaos Emeralds to awaken Gaia. That's why they're tied to him. Hence why they get drained in the opening.
They're still tied to the temples, remember? They need to be restored over energy, and then essentially at the end, we do the Megazord temple.
Oh yeah,
By the way,
well,
everybody-
well that's
sorry,
simple.
let me
That's
just mention
because
this.
the temple.
Oh, Pedro, the new expression for Final Fantasy XIV looks great.
By the way, everybody, that cutscene and side mission involving saving Elise, that was just a waste of your time because she gets immediately captured again right after it.
You
Don't you
know-
just love it when a game blatantly
Deal
wastes your
without
time?
music.
You see, guys.
Hiding, or Eggman has some kind of GPS planted on
He's-
it.
To be fair, Teo, not every cutscene needs to have music necessarily.
I don't know, it makes it jarring though for a scene like this to not have music in the background.
It was a short scene
It's a
anyway.
short
I mean,
scene. Anyway,
yeah, I'm
anyway.
gonna have to have a job on this one. honestly.
Anyway, but you see, guys, that's why Eggman doesn't really care about security in this game
What are
because.
you doing here?
This scene is where Silver officially dies as a character to me.
It wasn't that already.
Well, this is the last straw. Let's say this is the last straw right here. You'll see.
Why does he want to destroy the world?
Yeah, thank you. About time you asked that question. What? Yes, it does.
Unless you complete your task, your future will remain the same
Stop asking questions.
forever.
Actually, Mephiles, time is really a non-issue. You can just time travel at will. So why can't you just, bring me back to the earlier point in time and then explain to
Oh
me
wait,
who the
this
hell this
bit.
Sonic is?
What?
Yeah, he
Mephiles
did a
literally
ballerina
just
spin
did a
off screen.
ballerina spin.
Why? And Blaze just goes along with this.
What is
Okay,
wrong
that's
with
it.
this game?
Silver is officially dead to me.
Even
You're not
Blaze
even
at this
helping.
point.
You're not even thinking. You're not even thinking, are you dipshit? Okay, like he literally asked. Mephiles literally avoided Silver's question. This is the point where both Silver and Blaze should look at each other and think, okay, there's something not quite right here. Why is this guy avoiding our question? But no, they just go along with this. There's being naive and then there's being stupid. Not to mention, Blaze is supposed to be the voice of reason here, and she just stands there and does nothing.
Not to mention the fact that, as far as fans knew, this was the same Blaze from Rush, so we were left wondering why she's even acting this time.
From the future.
Okay, to give credit, this game does have something that might have worked, but that's way later down the
Yeah, that
road.
was my original theory back when we did the first round of
You
this
wanna
game,
get into
but
the
ever
station?
since, it pretty much changed.
Well, then let me tell you about this. They're standing guard now, but it's almost time for the guards to go on the rounds.
Are his eyes completely white? He doesn't have pupils?
No, he has
He
tiny
does
pupils.
have pupils, but they're very tiny, so they're hard to see.
There's still time before they go on round, so if you need to prepare, I do it now. That's right, folks. We have a stealth mission coming up.
Yeah.
With Silver, who constantly shots at
I
everyone.
love stealth.
Now, okay, going
But
back.
for these game dweebs, stealth can still be fun in other
No, I
occasions.
was being sarcastic. I hate stealth.
Sorry.
No, but yeah, you can see why Eggman doesn't bother with security, because he knows that Elise is so dang easy to catch.
I
Right.
guess. Still though, like...
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I honestly just think he's bluffing at this point, like he's tried to get the Iblis out of Elise, but nothing's worked. Like,
What the fuck?
Probably.
Sorry, Discord decided to go apeshit on me, but I think I'm fine now.
I think Discord realized that Sonic 06
So
was
what
starting
was the
to
heart of the
be
goal?
bad for your health.
What the hell is that?
That
It
is
just-
the
it's
air
actually
dash.
forward.
I mean, the
It's actually
teleport.
forward by like a foot.
Alright, Jova, hold on to your audio recording with your life.
No problem. Basically, too, this is the teleport.
But there's a pathetic range.
Look, now see, look, with Shadow...
You just call it a dash or something, not a teleport.
Funny you mention
All
that,
right,
because
everybody,
Shadow
time
has a
for a
similar
side
move to
mission.
that called the
Oh,
Chaos
no.
Dash in Sonic Battle.
Alright, everybody, this is a stealth mission. Basically, you have to tap into your Metal Gear Solid and cover yourself under places so that the guards don't see you while they're doing their rounds.
Or-
Basically, just like Metal Gear Solid 1. Sorry, Metal
The
Gear
guards
1.
are so incompetent.
However, you don't have to do
anyway.
anything. Just go straight to the goal because there you go.
Holy fuck!
Heck, you can
There you
even...
go.
No
Heck,
wonder Princess Elise keeps getting kidnapped.
you wanna know what's
This
even
is
better?
This is a stealth mission that even Dwibs would be able to succeed at.
You wanna know what's even better? You can actually hover over those guards, playing over their heads, and that will not get you count as being caught.
There you go.
What is wrong with this game?
The easiest side mission in the entire game by far.
Truly, a security force to surpass
I-
Metal Gear.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, oh god, Radical Train. Oh.
Well, I guess the one good thing is that we don't have
So,
a
okay,
stupid
in
Mach Speed
Sonic
section.
and Shadow stages of this, it was a run against time. How can it work with Silver?
I'm not going to let the Iblis trigger get away.
Let's see.
Anyway, also going
Alright,
back
well,
to the... Oh, never mind, go on.
Basically, the primary gimmick with Silver's Radical Highway is that you have to consistently use the boxes to basically balance the scales so that you can move forward. So basically, keep putting in as many scales on each of the sides as you can, so you can make sure you'll be able to progress. That's the basic gist of it. Aside from that, it's basically the same level.
As
Go
for
ahead,
what the
Chris.
switch does, it causes the box to explode and another box to drop in its place, essentially a reset.
Because that makes sense.
Now, going back to what I was saying about the Gaia Temple,
Yeah.
well, you see, Tio, the thing is, like, well, I mean, we can easily just theorize that the Gaia Temple was made because of chaos, essentially. What with all this stuff transcribed from it. Also, to be fair, it's kind of hinted
Oh my
that
god,
there's...
so much going fast.
Yes, the conveyor belt.
You need to slow down. I'm not used to this in this game.
Well, that's nice, Jova, but
That's-
again, it would be nice if the game kinda... that's a major problem with Unleashed in general, the fact that it may have some connection in terms of continuity, but it just doesn't tell.
Yeah, Unleashed suffers a similar issue with Dual Destinies, where it came after such a bad Sonic game that, you know, it kind of wiped some things clean, but unfortunately wiped away some things people liked and thus caused a bit of a split afterwards. Although, thankfully, as a Spirit of Justice, they seem to be bringing back some things. They haven't brought back everything or everyone, but hopefully by Ace Attorney 7. The point being is like, well, I have my qualms with Unleashed as well. I don't care for the human design. I get people like cartoony stuff, but I was preferring what Adventure had in mind. But
Honestly, Jova, like I've said various times before, it just makes a lot more sense to me for everything in this game to be cartoony. Why exactly do we need even anime stylized stuff?
I mean,
Like,
to be
It just allows for much better expressions on the. I mean, you cannot possibly tell me that the NPCs in Unleashed are not more expressive than the ones in Adventure 1.
Not to mention,
well,
Jova,
to be fair,
these in the
Pedro, you're
long run.
comparing the 7th gen game to a Dreamcast game. That's kind of
Not
not
to
fair.
mention, Jova, that in the long run, these ultimately damage the continuity even more than it should have been, because by the time of Forces event now, there are no more humans on the planet.
Yeah, that's
Only-
another thing I don't
Yeah.
care for with the cartoony human things. Like, seriously, it's inconsistent. Like, I mean, you know, we're asking for consistency. Changing the art style of the humans is not really what I asked for. I mean, yeah, they're fine and whatnot, but I don't know. I mean, I did like the idea that Adventure Egg, you're like, well, actually connecting Sonic's world to, you know, a more realistic one. Like, not incredibly realistic, but it's always nice to have that mix of realistic but surreal stuff. Now, obviously, not how this game did it. This game did it terribly, but the way Adventure did stuff, like, you actually had the Radical Highway, or, you know, like, stuff like Speed Highway. Those were, like, insanely awesome bouts of mixing. Not to mention that if gun now exists for generations, how the heck do gun work now?
If it were up to me, every single Sonic game would have always retained the anthropomorphic animals population stuff, and there would be no humans, period, cartoonish or realistic. Like,
regardless of
except for Eggman, I guess.
Even Eggman is cartoonish as it gets.
Yeah, but he's a human,
honestly,
though. You just said you wouldn't have any humans.
Regardless,
well, okay, fine. I guess we can retain the Adventure 1 to aesthetic, but
yes, please.
Honestly, I still think there should be, at the very least, more anthropomorphic animals outside of Sonic's friends, honestly.
I can definitely agree with that. Go on, Theo.
Pedro, I just want what I want from the franchise is just to pick something and just fucking sticking with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Silver cannot grind on those things.
I don't mean only gameplay-wise, because that's the obvious aspect that can be
Hold on,
analyzed.
Theo, let me just mention something real quick. In this, in the main campaign, Silver cannot grind on anything that Sonic and Shadow can. Here's the interesting thing, though. He can grind on the multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
So what the fuck, Sega?
Campaign penalizes you.
You have Silver grinding mechanics. Use them.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Actually, he can grind in Crisis City. In fact, I recall you actually did grind with him that one time in Crisis City. Yeah, you did. However, that is still an issue, though, because it shows inconsistency still. He can grind on some areas in the single player, but not all. It's stupid.
Notice how throwing explosive boxes at that door of wood doesn't do anything? You'd think it would, but it doesn't for some reason.
No, it probably works only with missiles and enemies.
But that doesn't...
I know, it's inconsistency, but at least for this one actually I can understand.
Pedro, bit slapping the wood isn't going to do anything.
Anyway, like, it's not just for gameplay purposes, because that also can be analyzed from you, more strict fans, but on a setting and story standpoint, this has become so confusing at this point, what Sonic's world geography is, who actually resides in it, what's canon and what's not, the fucking moon, like...
They need a reboot. Like the best thing that
This is supposed to be the reboot.
Okay, no. Let me rephrase that. Modern reboot, as in we can still have Christian Whitehead and his team do classic style of games, you know. However, we need a Sonic Adventure 1 remake that reboots the whole thing and starts over. You know, basically retell the story of Sonic Adventure 1 with better writing, better plot structure, and all that shit to reboot everything, and then just go from there, basically.
Like, even, like, at least with Zelda, even Nintendo, despite how questionable it may be, and it actually managed to create something consistent as to connecting the dots of a timeline. With Sonic, we kind of know the chronological order, but it's what's inside that's a cluster.
Well, it's not even just that, Theo. It's more so the fact that each particular version of Hyrule has actually its own consistent art style, if you think about it. For example, Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks all have the Wind Waker art style because that's the Wind Waker timeline, you know?
Sure,
so there is that consistency within that particular part of the timeline. It is consistent. It's just consistent in a very specific way. Anyway, let's see it for the next part, everybody, where we finish Radical Train. Well, actually, we already finished the Radical Train.
Yeah, we get to the fight with Shadow, and then...
Yeah, the fight with Shadow, and then, once again, we go back to the past. So, see ya.
See ya.